Hey, what's going on? I'm Joey.
And I'm Jordan.
And this is the Geeks and Governance podcast. Put your dad.
Welcome. Yes, sir. The Geeks and Governance podcast. The first official recording of the Geeks and Governance podcast. I'm Jordan. This is my best friend in the world, Joe. And we just wanted to start this podcast here and present this to you. This is about two geeks primarily, and of course any other geeks that want to come on this show and be part of the gang or part of the guild, as we like to call it. And
sure.
You know, we're gonna get on here and we're gonna discuss our favorite movies, our favorite TV shows, and our favorite video games, and really talk about how they relate to real life, how they relate to society, to social issues, to politics, and just kind of explore their themes a little bit.
That's right. And, even as far back as the 70s, these things always related to something greater in terms of politics. Even George Lucas made Star Wars as a critique of the U.S. military in Vietnam. So, so there's all types of things we're going to be covering. As far as the type of entertainment that we watch and the type of entertainment we like to talk about amongst ourselves, I mean, you name it, we're into it. Avatar, Lord of the Rings.
Right. We really are the classic geeks. I mean, we like just a little bit of everything. If it's got some, if it's, as long as it's quality stuff. I mean, we like well written, fleshed out narratives, like good story development. I mean, that's the kind of stuff we're into. We really resonate with Star Wars, with our more recent stuff that we're definitely going to be hitting on, The Boys.
The Boys, for sure.
And Gen V, of course.
Just dropped their season 2.
Those go hand in hand,
Yep.
Peacemaker.
Yep.
And the Gunniverse.
Yeah, the Gunniverse, the James Gunniverse.
Which you are super well versed on. You're our Gunniverse guy right now, dude.
100%.
Yeah, I've been in love with the Peacemaker series ever since the Suicide Squad, the good one, dropped.
The second one, the one without Jared Leto.
Yeah, which qualifies anything as being good as long as it doesn't have Jared Leto in it, in my opinion. Sorry, Jared. I know you're watching this, but that movie was phenomenal, and that I don't think anyone expected Peacemaker to come back, but when he did, and in the way that he did, with that first season of Peacemaker, my God, I mean.
Explosive.
Yeah.
I still remember, I mean, we're going to make a video about this, so I don't want to get too into it, but I remember when they first announced they were making the Peacemaker series, and I was like, about a character who was the bad guy and killed Rick Flag?
Not only killed, shot in the neck, and then a fucking building fell on top of him.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
And he definitely was not a very likable character in that movie at all.
No, like John Cena was great, but I was happy when he supposedly died. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean you're supposed to be. I mean he was a bad guy. He did a bad thing. Rick Flag was not a person that deserved to die. So
no, not at all. And you see a bit of that in season 2. But, getting back to our inspirations, like me and Jordan have been friends our entire lives. And if you go back, a lot of our friendship is built on this shared love of just nerdiness and love for history and, a thirst for knowledge. And, neither of us are greatly educated in terms of college, but we're very into reading. Educated. We're very into history and, documentaries and all types of things like that. And we just want to be in a space where we can build that connection between the things that we love for entertainment and fantasy and the things that are relevant to what's happening in the world around us.
Super well said, man. And we want to have thoughtful but fun conversations. We want to make you think. We want to present maybe some new thoughts and really solidify the themes that these directors and the writers are trying to explore when they present these things to us. There's deeper themes to explore, and there are things that affect us every day in our day-to-day lives. Maybe you don't even realize it. Maybe there's a lot of terms that get thrown out and names that get called, fascism and socialist and all these other things. And I don't think people really know what those mean and how they actually apply to real life.
No, you see it because the way it's thrown around, on mainstream media and things like that, whether it be terms like socialist or fascist or whatever, is largely a mischaracterization.
Communist.
Yeah.
And that goes back to people that, when our parents were our age or even younger, people were calling each other communists, had no idea what that really meant. They just knew it was derogatory. Yeah. That was the important thing.
And that goes back to that McCarthy era politics of, selling fear, which is still popular, it turns out. It's still popular. Right. It's realm.
Right. And listen, we're going to get into a little bit of music too. And, my dad was always a metalhead. And his dad was a metalhead, growing up. One of the bands they listened to a lot was Megadeth, and they have a great song called Peace Sells. I think that's what it's called. It's just the main hook of the song is Peace Sells, but who's buying?
Right.
And
it's true. We're also into hip hop, so something relevant enough in hip hop comes up, we might give that a splash too. But for the main part, we're gonna be dialed in on the things that bring nerds together, and we're super excited to share our thoughts and our opinions and our breakdowns of these things with you. And the docket, looking forward, and for our first few videos, are going to be things that are relevant to what's going on now. You got to play that algorithm game a little bit. So we're going to do that.
Sweet algorithm.
So that sweet algorithm, that sweet brain rot. Give me a dose. So we're going to start with probably Peacemaker, season 1, little recap, and into, dive into Superman, dive into the Suicide Squad a little bit. That'll be a video. And then we'll come out with season 2 recap and talk about that when that finale drops.
Yeah, and we're well into season 2. So anybody who hasn't watched Peacemaker, I mean, we cannot recommend that show strongly enough. Please go watch it. Watch the Suicide Squad, the good one, first. If you haven't seen the movie, watch that first, then jump in. We promise you will not regret it. There's laughs, there's action, there's emotion. You might get a tear.
Dick and fart
maybe,
jokes.
And there's dick and fart jokes. There's a bunch of them, which we love here. We absolutely love those around here.
Right. And Gen V just dropped their second season on Amazon Prime, so we'll be covering that shortly after our Peacemaker video, due to the scheduling.
and in preparation for The Boys, super excited for the final season of The Boys. We've both been, really, really supportive of that show and everything they're doing, the story they're telling, and even the creators and, the way that they've gone out of their way to send a clear message, and to relate and not only relate their show, but develop their show. It seems like they're writing their show almost like a Matt Stone and Trey Parker-esque style, where
it's satirical,
changing the story, not only satirically, but they're changing the story almost on the way that it hits so close to what's actively going on. It's like, surely they must have wrote that this week. I know this was filmed a year ago, but surely they wrote that this week, because it's there's just no way. Right?
How could you see the future like that?
Yeah, how could you predict the future? It's because the future's fucking bleak. What?
Yeah.
Sorry. Maybe, might have to edit that part out.
That's all good. And if you do stumble across this somehow, please comment what your favorite movies are, games, TV shows, how they relate to big events that happened in life, maybe your life personally or just in history, and hopefully we can have kind of a group discussion. We do.
Yeah, we want to engage with a group. We don't want to just be two guys just talking into cameras, Although I would be fine with that, because again, dude, I'm doing it with my best friend. And if I get to sit down and shoot the shit with my best bud and talk about some real shit, and
what's better than
I'm
that?
cool with that. Yeah, but I want to get a community going. I want to have viewer input and listener input on what we put out, and the topics that we talk about. Obviously, that's what we say is always going to be us. Nobody will ever sway our thoughts and
right, yeah,
and our
what
message
we're trying to present.
Yeah, and more importantly, censorship. Nobody's ever going to censor us. I can promise you that.
Yeah, that's true.
But we want to have input from our community. I want to know what interests you guys. What do you want to learn more about? And so because then we get to learn too, and we all get to.
And the content will reflect the conversations and the discussions you guys are having. So, if that's something that interests you, please like, subscribe, share it. Again,
absolutely. We're going to be everywhere.
Joey, and
we're going to be everywhere. You can find us Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. I know it's Apple Podcasts now. YouTube. We're going to be on
try to
TikTok.
be available everywhere.
You can see us everywhere. See our clips of our ugly mugs, and we'll be out here. So we're gonna jump right into it, man. I think we're gonna start recording Peacemaker, and we're gonna have some content to drop for you guys, and really excited for this, Joe. I'm super excited to take this journey with you, brother. And,
absolutely.
Yeah, man. Let's get it going. Geeks and Governance, man.
Cheers to that. Brought to you by Goof Guild.
Governance, we needed to clear up the exact definition of governance. I think it's important for our listeners to understand it. So everyone knows what geeks are, and but governance, we're not talking about governments. This is not CNN. It's certainly not Fox News. All right, that's not what we're here to do. Governance, right. The definition of governance is the action or manner of governing. It is the framework or processes, functions, structures, rules, laws, and norms born out of the relationships, interactions, power dynamics, and communication within an organized group of individuals, which is our society in the perspective from which we're coming from. So, right. I want you guys to know that, that we're looking at how these shows, movies, video games reflect how we interact in our lives, and the social things that impact our lives, the political things that impact our lives too. But again, I just want to stress that this is not CNN, it's not Fox News, it's not
right.
And I'm not. We're not here to tell you how to think. We are here to invoke critical thinking, though. I want that to be very clear.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember that we all got to live in this community together, right. Like it or not, whether you like people or not, doesn't really matter. You still got to deal with them. So
that's right.
That's where healthy discussion and
discourse,
just good talks come, and good faith conversation.
Yes, and that's what we're here to have too. I want to have some guests on here eventually. Hopefully, we get some people who want to come on here and talk with us, and it's not always going to be people that we agree with.
Right.
Are Joey and I always going to be on the same page? Yeah, probably. You can bet on that. That's a safe bet. Yeah. You could take that one to Vegas. But I want to have people on here with a wide variety of perspectives and life experiences, and because that's also how you learn and grow too. You got to listen to people who are different from you, man. We should not live in an echo chamber.
Different walks of life and with different perspectives.
Yeah, there's a lot of echo chambers in real life, in real life, and especially on the internet. And this is also not going to be one of those. So, if you guys want to be part of that, and you guys want to, be part of a community that wants to have those kind of discussions, please, like you said, man, follow us, give us a follow. I know that doesn't cost anything on all these listening platforms. Give us a like if you could see us on the socials, Guys, thanks for listening. We are, like I said, we're going to jump right into recording. We have more content for you guys. We just wanted to record this to just have kind of a quick intro, see who's, get to know our names and who we are and what we're here to do, baby. And now it's time to get to it.
That's right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Stay geeky.
Thank you.